Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Total Nonstop Impact TNI. I'm here with Alicia. We're not doing it just like last week, not your typical review show. This is the recap show. Some updates, some news, all the good stuff, which there was some stuff going on tonight. Thank you, Brian, for the super sticker.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. So there definitely was. If you didn't stay till the end, you missed something. And we did get some tidbits, starting with the Iceman. So, there's the, and I'll go over that as well, Impact and Eagles. If there was any show this was going to happen for, just to get into that, the YouTube Ultimate Insider had issues tonight, where BTI was playing instead of the premiere of the episode. Luckily, not a ton of new content, but there was some new content tonight. So we'll definitely take a look for that. And thank you once again, Michael. I saw you in the chat earlier for confirming that. But yeah, we'll go over that too. But we'll definitely discuss a lot of what happened tonight on Impact Wrestling. The award winners, and definitely some interesting things happening at the beginning of next year, for sure. Next week's show and the tapings after Hard to Kill. So we'll get into that. If you haven't, hit the like button, subscribe, do all the good stuff, help support us. We saw Brian there with the super sticker, much appreciated. Any bits and all that stuff.
Of course.
What's the noise? There's a doggy.
It's the dog. My dog's doing her nightly pacing. I think she's laying down now under the table.
Right. We got we don't have a bark. We should have a bark. Someone going like at least Conan going, "Where are my dogs at?" or something.
Where are my dogs at? And then have Nani's nails scraping on the wood.
Let's just see who else is here in the chat with us. All right, Terrence, understood. Obviously, I think most of the stuff you could get from their social media, their Twitter feed is pretty much all you needed tonight for tonight's show, because we'll go over who won some of the awards, but when you figure out who won, you'll realize, that really filled out a lot of the show tonight, which it did. Well, just spoiler alert, the Iron Man match was the match of the year in the men's, so that was the last 35 minutes of the show. Rick Steiner was always an option. we already have two Rick Steiner bites. Oh no, we have Scott Steiner. We don't have any. I'll watch it on Discord right now. Okay, all right. Oh, and then I'll talk about this mayor as well. January 21st and 22nd. That's the Fort Lauderdale tapings. Interesting news regarding the Fort Lauderdale tapings. We'll discuss that as well. But obviously, everybody, welcome as we end the year here on TNI, the last official broadcast. Well, maybe there could be a Patreon after dark or something still in the works, but
anything
unconfirmed. So you got us for tonight. So I'll just. Alicia, you've seen all the matches that we're talking about tonight, and obviously all the superstars that we're going to discuss.
Of course.
But starting with BTI, which I know you YouTubers saw BTI more than once, so yeah. There's a good chance that you've seen that twice. Yeah, we will definitely get into the Mercedes Martinez. Are you aware of this?
Yes, I heard about that this morning.
Okay, all right. So we'll get into that. But you know what? I think that's what everybody wants to discuss. So let's do. We don't have J-Bone, and I don't take gimmicks, so I'm not going to play J-Bone's news. But I'm going to play we're the opposite of, and I know Alicia loves it. It's her favorite bite. So we'll play tonight because we're going to do the opposite, because we don't talk about stuff that's not true here. So it's the opposite of this.
Longing for that fake wrestling news. Don't believe anything that you read on the internet.
There we go. So the opposite of fake wrestling news, because there's plenty out there. If you guys watch, there's we could almost make a list of all the fake wrestling news that's been out there. But let's start because the hot topic yesterday was Mercedes Martinez, who you probably didn't see this, Alicia, but I think they did put it. I retweeted it actually. Mercedes Martinez showed up on AEW last night, but she's on tonight's Impact, calling out Deanna for next week.
Yeah.
So we get Deanna versus Mercedes next Thursday, the go-home show for Hard to Kill. So she pulled the Rick Rude tonight and showed up on 2 shows in 2 days.
But is that kind of foretelling that she's wrapping up with Impact after this last appearance? Is that kind of a spoiler we're getting there? Okay. Well, I mean, it's fine. They put the
graphic out there, the All Elite graphic.
I didn't get the vibe that she was sticking around, so
honestly, I didn't either. This wasn't a surprise to me. And voice out in the chat because I know they wanted to know what we were thinking on this. Being at the tapings, obviously, I don't discuss anything I'm thinking like that out there, but I got the impression that she was the feud. Obviously, she won the knockdown. I know that's the big debate,
right?
Since she didn't stick around, should she have won that knockdown? And you can look at it 2 ways. One, yes, to be an opponent, but if you want to put like gravitas to that knockdown winner of being a roster member, they would have lost. So they would have won the knockdown and lost. So I know that the idea is Tasha Steelz, and I think that was the only other option. Tasha Steelz wins, knockdown, would have lost to Mickie James. Where is she better? Would that have been better for her or not? Debatable.
Yeah. Okay, I see. I think the way it went down is fine.
And I think I'm fine with it because I didn't think, I think it was a possibility Mercedes could have done kept coming per appearance.
Right.
Maybe not every set of tapings, but a lot of the tapings if that kept working for them. But I just didn't see them having a storyline really with her at this point. Like if they brought her in before Savannah Evans, maybe something with Tasha. But
right.
I didn't see a storyline that was evident. So
yeah, it's funny. Before this announcement, I was just thinking randomly about, where's she been? You know what I mean? So it's fine. It's cool. I think she'll be a good fit over at AEW. Hopefully, they'll be scheduling Mercedes Martinez versus Ruby Soho.
Oh, maybe.
I think that'll be a great match.
Happening the same way, but that's and luckily I know I think people were wanting that match. They're like, oh, I want to see Mercedes versus Deanna, and you will get that. So that was I knew that was in the can.
Yeah, for sure.
I actually had seen that match at 2CW up in New York a little while back. So definitely worth checking out. But it did feel like that after. I'm with you. I think this is not a surprise. I just don't know if Impact knew this the whole time. They may have. That they may have already known she was maybe heading or not coming back. That's why they kind of delayed this match in the can until the go-home show. But it does come off a little weird that you get the promo the night after. It's kind of it's one of those things where I don't know if they would have wanted that to happen or not. Like, I don't know if Kevin Martin and the crew went, do we need to wipe the video? But for this show, I can get that.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, so definitely there's that's the Mercedes news for sure. So we get that out there. Next, we'll go over. This is the BTI, and we'll go over. There's a BTI match, but the Iceman Intel tonight confirmation that what I have been saying on the show. It's going to be Roxy defending the ROH title against Deonna Purrazzo the night after Hard to Kill.
Okay.
So the TV tapings, the Sunday show.
Did you catch the news that Roxy was at the NXT training?
Yes. So she was
what is that called? I'm sorry.
The Performance Center. She was at the Performance
Center. Okay.
She posted pictures. Like a lot of people are making Now, once again, people like Tessa and all in the past, they've gone down the Performance Center and they don't get signed, especially when they're young.
It's just for
like
tryouts.
Tessa was young. Yeah, like I'm sure they liked her, but they might go, "Oh, we can sign her in a year or 2 years." Like that's
They're
possible.
not college athletes.
I think a lot of people are assuming she's going to get signed because she's been talking about it, but we'll see, and she very well may. And that could be a reason. Maybe Deanna becomes champion. Who knows? But that will be interesting to see because she is. But we definitely get that, and hopefully they start promoting that heavy. I saw the Iceman intel. They did talk about it later on the show, but hopefully they put that out there to sell tickets for the TV tapings.
For sure.
Because that's a Texas girl right there. So definitely promote that heavy if I'm them. And this was the other thing that we got cats causing injuries.
You're feisty. Bippy.
Iceman teased that's not going to be all from her. We already know Gresham, Ring of Honor title match, which I know that was been a point of debate. But at the Terminus show that Gresham's doing, it is confirmed now, at least on Indies, they're doing both. Bandito as Ring of Honor champion and Gresham as the original champion because he has the original belt as opposed to the newer belt. But Ring of Honor wasn't recognizing that on any of their correspondence, but the wrestlers are. So I know that's been up for debate, but hey, if that's how they're going to go about it, then that's how we're going to address it.
For sure.
So, but there could be some more people from Ring of Honor showing up very soon. So definitely news there made by the Iceman. And speaking of the Iceman, cannot confirm this, but I don't know if this is just for the Ultimate Insiders or for everybody, but Mike Bailey is advertised for this. Huge Scoops are advertised for this. It's called the Insider Zone. It looks like the TMZ logo, but it's going to be at 9 a.m. tomorrow on the YouTube channel. So
9 a.m.
Yeah, so 9 a.m. I know what I'm doing.
But catch it on the replay.
Wait, hold on. Sorry, I've been going over news. Courtney, thanks for the $10 super sticker.
Oh wow, thank you. I didn't even see that pop up in the chat. Oh, thank you,
boy,
Courtney.
$5. Thank you.
Also, happy early New Year.
I'm so focused on news. I wasn't looking at comments. But thank you. So there's definitely a 9 a.m. Impact and Eagles. We'll see. I don't know if that's Iceman involved. I don't know if it's, but it's another show on maybe the YouTube channel. We'll see if it comes anywhere else. But is this an expanded Iceman intel? I don't know. I think it might be. But we might get confirmation on Mike Bailey on when he's definitely showing up. Maybe the Dallas tapings or maybe Florida, because that's my next piece of news. There was a press release today, and it was for the Florida media tour. Usually before tapings, they go out a week or two before, and it's Moose and Deanna. It wasn't Dallas, it was maybe Moose and Mickey last time, but now it's Moose and Deanna in Florida, and they're going to be doing all kinds of stuff to promote, get tickets moving and everything, which are now on sale on Ticketmaster. I did see a nice little comment from, who was it here? Where was it? Oh, Michael. On Bill's advice, managed to snag a front row ticket to the January 21st show. Dope. The way they released tickets, they didn't really announce them. They were just out there. And then you really couldn't tell because they didn't have a seat chart, just like for Hard to Kill. Hopefully they fix that going forward.
I hate that.
You don't really know where the seats are. But once they got them up at some point today, the combo package, I don't think ever happened because you didn't have a seat chart. So they can't assign the same seat for 2 nights in a row if you don't have a seat chart. So that didn't work. So that's my advice going forward is get ahead of that. But for Friday night, front row might be gone by now. There was only 3 left when I told the YouTube chat earlier. If you want front row for Friday, get on it. And Michael Baird did. So look forward to seeing you there, Michael. But in that, but what I want to get to for this, in the press release, quote, surprises are certainly going to be there too, including wrestlers making their Impact Wrestling debut in Fort Lauderdale. I don't think that's a throwaway line, like where maybe like it's a local indie talent. I think that means they're specifically going to have a debut or two, or maybe more, at the Fort Lauderdale tapings.
Okay.
I know a lot of rumors are it could be Micah Maria. That is possible.
I've been seeing that buzzing around.
Especially with the Ring of
there's
Honor thing
Impact
from the
buzz.
Iceman. But like Iceman's talking Ring of Honor.
Do you think that they would take up Mike and Matt Taven and Maria and do the Kingdom?
The fake wrestling news is talking a lot about Taven and up north, but I don't know if that's reciprocal, so I'm not sure. But there's also the other thing is they were there at the end of TNA as it was transferring over to Anthem.
Okay.
I still consider them Impact. They're saying this is debuting, so I think it could be not even them.
Okay, so debuting, that it's the wording. Everything's in the wording, and debuting's a lot different than returning.
Correct.
Debuting, even like think of it this way, even if it was under the previous handle of TNA, like it's not debuting if you're back. Like it's still the same.
Like Scott, he ended tonight's show talking about we're going into 20 years in Impact Wrestling. He doesn't go, oh no, it's only been the last 2 years. But and this is another thing that he says near the end of the show that I'm holding him to it. His word, strong as oak. He's like, we're going to be highlighting a lot of the good in the 20 years and some of the bad. But I think that was definitely a hint of maybe No Place Like Home. Definitely a hint of maybe an expanded Hall of Fame. Like that they're going to do more. I like it's not just going to be, oh, by the way, it's 20 years. I think they're actually going to put something into it being 20 years. Hello.
Okay, that's what's up.
New people jumping in.
Hey, everyone. Hello.
So definitely some stuff to look there. Oh, and Ronan Blue confirming that was another piece of news on Monday, I guess. Micro Brawlers. Josh Matthews came out. Limited run 300. I know there was like only like 13 earlier today, but it looks like they have officially sold out. And he's doing, by buying those, he's doing a Zoom call with people that bought them. So I'm actually, if Josh, you're watching this, instead of a Zoom call for me, if you want to hop on the podcast, we could do that instead. Because I always said I want Josh Matthews. He's the only BTI member we have not had on the podcast. We need to complete. Get that all around.
True.
And then I know a lot of people are following whose accounts are being followed and stuff by Scott. He follows everybody. And it's minor, not a big deal, but I know people are talking about that. Did you see this? Because this is an interesting thing just to quickly go over. The thing about Rachel Ellering with her birthday.
I just saw that comment in the thing. No, I didn't see that.
Well, it was one of those things that I think she did delete it, like recently, maybe within like the last couple
What
of hours.
happened?
It was, she just pointed out that nobody wished her a happy birthday from Impact, like i.e. the company on her birthday. But then they did send something the day after, like, and says, sorry, belated birthday. But we know right now their social media is going through a lot of change. That's been confirmed by them.
Yeah.
And then Gail came out and said, like, sorry, like that there is, but I've been hard on them with the Instagram and stuff like that. Like, you got to get it corrected after the holidays. Like, if this is happening 6 weeks from now, even really like 4 weeks from now, not acceptable. But I'll give them a pass during the holidays. Get it all figured out. But sadly, because of having a birthday near a holiday and between two holidays, Rachel did not get that. I know guys like Thornstowe from Reno Scum. He's like, I never got one. So it all depends. If someone notices it, they point it out. But if not, they don't. I don't think it was anything beyond that. But I know that became a little brouhaha.
Is that her heel turn?
Well, that's what T. Hughes is saying. You could use that. Why not?
Yeah.
She did in there. She said is literally the worst. But that was just something being said. And speaking of, her and Jay Grace, Knockouts Tag Team of the Year on tonight's show. Voted by you, the fans. So can't be all bad.
Yeah, I'm sure everything's fine.
Yeah.
Bam!
Damn.
That's
I gotta get that barbecue sauce.
Yeah, I have had it. It's very good.
Yeah.
All right, let me just make sure I didn't miss anything here. There, Cube. I'll be all goat talk. Come on. All right, let's see. I'm just seeing, make sure there's nothing else there. Oh yeah, and I know people are mentioning it here. I believe tomorrow, Matt Cardona and Chelsea Green are getting married. So congrats.
Oh, a New Year's wedding. That's romantic.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a party.
So definitely some news with them. Just trying to think if there was any other major news. I think that's all the ones kind of we wanted to hit. Oh, you know what? We will go over the last, it's part of the show, but if you didn't watch to the end, I think a huge angle started at the end of this show tonight. And that was Sue Young along with Brandy and Kimber. They're talking about how quiet it is. And then Kimber's like, oh, well, we haven't gotten souls from Mother. The whole Mother thing we haven't heard from for weeks now. So we're wondering where it's gone. But then who appears? Sue appears. She does the undead realmness to them. She transports them somewhere.
Into her belly.
And it appeared into her belly. Everyone in the chat, what are you thinking of this? Do you think this is like, what are we going to see? Like the Mother storyline. Do we still see Kimber and Brandy, or are they written off? Are they coming back as non-undead now? Are they back to normal?
I don't know how to make heads or tails of what I witnessed.
It's something. If you didn't, it's on their socials. Definitely check it out because it played after the end card. The whole Kevin Martin stayed till the last second. It's like a Marvel movie. Like if you turned it right off, or maybe didn't even see it because of being a best of show, they put in a few things here to really paying attention to, and I think that's a huge angle in 2022. Is that
it is? Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, the jig is up is that Miss Sue Young is pregnant. And so it should just be interesting to see, like, is she going to give birth to a wrestler?
that would be interesting because that would really be choreographing a long.
Like, if any wrestling company is going to go there, Impact is probably it. Because Impact is where you go if you want interesting character and storylines. Is she going to give birth? Like, where's Kimberly and Brandy? I'm so confused.
It is. And once again, we don't know anything. If Fake Wrestling News put anything out there, I don't know what it is either. The only thing is, I will say, Kimber did make, because everyone's talking about bookings for next year. We know Impact has their schedule through April. But Kimber kind of just put out, I have a ton of openings. Like I got all the availability in the world.
Okay.
You could read into that. To me, it seemed like something being put out there that could be read into, but I don't want to read into it.
I mean,
we're all big Kimber fans, but
I'm not going to read too much into it only because I've seen a bunch of wrestlers be like, I have all these openings, like Ace and Fulton and everybody.
Yeah,
so
they usually put dates.
It's what happens at the end of the year.
Schedule. Yeah,
because they're trying to book for the upcoming months.
Like, contact me. I can probably do it. That's the only difference. It's not putting the dates on there.
I often feel too, like around this time, there's like a short hiatus for like wrestling as far as like people building up their bookings for the year ahead. So like, I don't know. I wouldn't read too much into it.
No, I wouldn't either, just because I think it was, and who knows, a lot of, as we saw with the Rachel tweet about her birthday, some people just poke these things to get people going, maybe to get a reaction. Who knows? So there are a lot of people are talking about the Sue thing. Hopefully it goes well because it is an interesting angle. It's something that you don't see talk of Damien, maybe Wyndham Rotunda. I know someone we won't be seeing. I saw that EC3 and Titan, the former Braun Strowman, they are booked at a Northeast Wrestling show during the Florida tapings. So they likely don't show up there. So once again, I still think the Frida narrative returns the Impact at some point this year. Don't know when now, but that's what I think.
To be continued.
And I'll just close the news on another hot topic yesterday. Not really Impact related, but due to the connection to Juice Robinson, who I consider at least half an Impact talent because he's there so much. Toni Storm was, I guess, requested and received her release.
Yep.
So obviously in 90 days, then she's free. But I don't like getting too far ahead of that, at least until it gets closer to see what would happen. But obviously, I think everyone, the one guy that talks very positively about Impact is Juice Robinson. So that's always a good sign when you have someone like Juice promoting, because obviously New Japan doesn't have women's wrestling, so he can only really promote his Impact loyalty.
It should be cool. See where she ends up. It's interesting now that we're seeing people asking for the requests and being allowed the grace of being able to leave.
Yeah, and you know what? That does make sense when you've let go people due to financial reasons, like cost-cutting measures. When someone asks to be released, holding them to that contract it's not a good look. So if people do want to leave, you almost have to grant it at this point.
Well, they're schemy little scheme dogs over there, so whatever.
Schemy little scheme dogs. There you go. Put that on a t-shirt. All right, so let me go. So that pretty much covers the news. If anybody else has anything, feel free to throw it in the chat. Try to get up there, but hopefully that answers most of the questions that were out there regarding news. But did talk about the Knockouts Tag Team of the Year. Then there was 2 other awards, and they both featured one Josh Alexander, who, no doubt, big year Impact Wrestling, got the Wrestler of the Year and Match of the Year with TJP, the Iron Man match. And I definitely agree with the Match of the Year, no doubt. I wasn't sure because TJP obviously is not with the company right now, but he kind of spoke for TJP, put him over. It's like he how much he did in that he's one of the best out there. So definitely agree with that. And Josh, he had a very strong year. X Division champion, world champion, then Moose, because Moose obviously is up for debate because he won it as well. But then there is the Kenny question. Kenny dominated the first half of the year. I do like that it's Impact, it was the grown home guy won it. But if it did go to Kenny, I wouldn't have argued it because he had a huge first half. But maybe that just tells you where the partnership is these days.
Well, I mean, I guess I can see why he didn't win it because, a half a year compared to a full year, what the hell does that? You know what I mean? We can't just give him awards because he's Kenny Omega. You know what I mean? There's other people
you can't,
doing
but he
just as well.
Most of his matches, and once again, he didn't have a ton of matches.
Right.
Josh worked more than he did.
He had a lot of help in all those matches as well.
Yeah,
let's not take that into account.
Yeah, you're right. His finishes.
Josh didn't.
No, Josh had clean. All of his wins were clean. His only loss was Moose cashing in on him.
That must mean why he won the award.
So that's
no, I'm not trying to be a bitch.
I think there's you could argue it. You could argue it, but I'm happy it went that way. So
the only argument would be I like Kenny Omega. That would be the only argument. Sorry, he's great. He's good. I'm glad he's getting the rest up, and he's going to come back better than ever.
The right point for Kenny in him not getting that is what you just said, the finishes, the help, because he only beat Moose because of the Bucks, Generation Me.
Uh-huh.
And he did like, he won some matches clean, but he didn't have a ton of
I
matches.
mean, Jerry
he only
Lynn
had, like, Jerry Lynn
helped them. Like, come on, you guys. Like, he had help.
I'm with you.
There were a lot of
you.
them.
So once again, big night for Josh, well deserved. And then obviously the knockouts tag. So, and I did notice, and maybe I just never really paid attention,
Okay.
that they were showing Rachel and Jordan like tagging together in the opening entrance. So maybe they will be more of a focus as a tag team after Inspiration, Influence finish off. Like maybe they're coming back into the tag fray.
Well, they're going to have to. We got to remember that we do have a tag division, and it can't just be down to 4 people.
No, definitely.
Like, let's get a tornado, however many tag teams we've got, and let's let them rock it out. You know, like instead of, you know, like we got to showcase our roster.
We do, and I'll tell you, I don't know why I think this. Maybe just because there's so many still out there. Oh, and we did get confirmation, other than the Deanna versus Mercedes next week. We're also getting the debut. Well, not debut because she was on Knockouts Knockdown, but the Impact Wrestling weekly debut of Masha Slamovich.
Okay, I remember seeing her promo.
Unlike Veer / Trent, who's eventually going to show up on Monday nights, we're actually getting her next week.
What was it? I think it was like at the beginning of the week. One of Wrestle Talk or one of those guys, one of those podcasts or whatever, had mentioned that it's been like 54 days since they announced he was coming, and so everyone's just kind of like hoping that that's going to just be like the joke. Is that 20 years from now they're going to be like, "Vera's coming, like coming to Raw."
Yeah, definitely some stuff going on there, no doubt.
They just don't know what to do.
So let's see. So we did have that. I do want to get into the BTI match. I did miss that. Talking about it. It was that son of a VSK with the Dice Man.
Ziggy Dice.
Well, I love Ziggy Dice.
I love his jacket.
Yes. Against Decay.
Yes.
Crazy Steve and Black Taurus.
Ziggy's jacket is so bright pink that the cameras can't even focus on it.
It is tough. That's
amazing.
It's outlandish, and that's what
it's the coolest.
But it's really
like flamingo pink.
Obviously, Decay looks good here.
Always.
But what you have here is obviously VSK and Ziggy not getting along. At the end, Ziggy he goes up the ramp by himself without VSK. So I'm about to do flips if Ziggy Dice gets broken off. And maybe he teams back up with Sam Beal at some point and just take it to VSK and Brian Myers. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Everyone always wants to know. VSK or Matthew Palmer. I'm willing to give Palmer more of a shot at this point.
Oh, what does that tell you, VSK?
Well, Michael, I'll allow that on an indie show.
I gotta go to an indie. Maybe that'll be my New Year's resolution, is to start going back to local shows. We took a sabbatical.
Correct, Eli. Correct. Yes, Randy. Yes, I know a lot of people just joined us now. So we did talk about Iceman, about the Ring of Honor, and about Speedball. That 9 a.m. tomorrow on the YouTube channel, it sounds like they may reveal exactly when we're going to see Mike Bailey. Is it going to be Hard to Kill tapings? Like maybe he's another person, just like Roxy, for the Sunday tapings? Or are they going to, like they said they're going to start announcing in like these weeks, like, it could be Florida. They'll announce it in Florida. So we'll see.
They're announcing a lot of dates, so we'll just have to see.
No, and they are announcing a lot of dates. We'll see. Obviously, now that Florida's on sale, next should be New Orleans. We'll see if when that goes on sale, along with Rebellion, which is the next major pay-per-view. So definitely stay tuned for all that. But with the win there in that BTI match, I know we're all big Decay fans here. What do you think, Alicia? What do you think about the possibility of the Crazy Steve Tarus side of Decay possibly getting involved, maybe that once again, maybe in the tag division, or is it just right now Good Brothers or else, pretty much?
I would like to see them involved in the tag division. Like, if we're going to have a tag division, everybody should be involved. You know what I mean? We can't just showcase one team. And, like, I know Impact likes to do this a lot. Once we have a champion, that champion is champion for a very long time. But you know how I feel about that. Sometimes we got to, open the bottle and let it breathe a little bit and pass it around.
Yeah. And speaking of, I think it was, I forget what was the highest, and I don't know if it was the highest, but it was one of the highest YouTube videos of the year was Black Tarus's debut in Impact. Like, that has a ton of views.
Everyone was predicting major things for him, and I feel like they should start kind of, banking on him.
Yeah, he's underappreciated.
Very talented. That's amazing. I don't know what that's from, but that's amazing.
that was Wrestle House.
Oh, okay. I see. I didn't really see the whole thing, so okay, I'm gonna have to take the time this weekend and watch it. But I also feel that Crazy Steve is underutilized. We got to remember that in other promotions, maybe more on the independent side, Crazy Steve was like their main champion. And so I fully have faith that he could be a runner, like even X Division. Something. Let's do something with Crazy Steve.
I'm with you. Like, once again, there's certain people that really stand out at live events. Crazy Steve, like, you just go to a show with him on the card, and you'll see the crowd react to Crazy Steve, just like Juice. Juice Robinson is the same way. It's like they just get the crowd going, and he's Crazy Steve does a great job. I'll always give him credit. Back at the last Impact show at the old Asylum in Nashville. Okay. And they did Homecoming, and they did, was it just Homecoming? Or TV too? It probably was just Homecoming. And they did a dark match, but it was a little dark match because the generator went. So like the lights went out. And they just said, Steve, get out here and do a match. And he had in a literally dark crowd just going crazy for him. Like that.
Well, that's amazing.
And that's when he wasn't with the company, really. I think he was there because they were working with Tried and True. So he just, maybe he was going to work a dark match, but he wasn't part of the roster at that point. Like, he had been gone. So definitely kudos to both Black Tarus, Steve. Hopefully something coming up this year for them.
For sure.
And I think this is going to be a huge year for Rosemary. I just seeing her, the injury, she's over the injury. So I think big things for her in 22.
Oops, sorry. Yes, absolutely. Would love to see her as, the main champion is legally blind.
Legally blind. It is amazing. People call him for Black Tarus for Bola, and is he still champion down there? He's he had one of their titles. I think he still might. So let's go from that. Let's just see if there was any other. We went over the match of the year, the superstar of the year. Was there any other news or tidbits from the show? Just double checking my notes here. I think that covered most of the items from the show. So right now, obviously, we know we're getting some knockouts action next week for the Go Home show. They didn't really tease anything for Hard to Kill. Last week was big on Hard to Kill matches being announced. Nothing announced tonight for Hard to Kill. Only that the Roxy Diana match for after Hard to Kill for the tapings. That's the only thing announced for Hard to Kill weekend. So not a lot of details. Oh, Michael, you're right. My bad. I did miss that. There was a segment with the influence, getting like professional photographs from Caleb with a K. But then the inspiration comes in, and they're like, "Oh, it's our time for our photos." They're saying they're on West Coast time, they're on LA time, but they're in Vegas, so it's the same time. But then they bring out their own photographer, Jay with an I. And you remember Jay with an I is who Jonah beat up real quick. If you remember, he's a Future Stars, a wrestling guy that was pretty over with the crowd, but got annihilated.
Yeah, okay.
He's now the inspiration for time.
Oh boy.
So very interesting.
I don't know. I have a feeling that Caleb and him are going to clash.
Yeah, Jay Vidal there. And I think that was because there was a segment, and there was the other new piece that I don't, unless they put it on socials, was a promo for the Hardcore War, the 5-on-5 match, VBD and the Good Brothers against the Soldiers, Heath Rhino, and Eddie Edwards. So pretty much, but it was just from the Eddie Edwards camp side, saying like they're gonna get hardcore, not country.
Ow. Hardcore country.
See, everybody loves the hardcore country.
I randomly play that song.
Hardcore country
On Spotify.
Everybody loves that.
Hardcore. Sorry. Okay, I'm done. It's so good.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I can be honest.
This thing terrifies me. It's looking into my soul, dude. It's unsettling.
Oh yes, Michael, and the last one was Morrissey did, because you're right, it was footage of him with him talking, like an overview. It wasn't him cutting a promo, but it was a good promo. It was talking about pretty much like the fans. Like, I don't blame you because like I was a gimmick. I was half of a catchphrase, but I do blame you for not supporting me and saying I was done.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, I'm a big fan of Morrissey. I think Morrissey is a world champion. Like that.
He's on that redemption arc, bro.
Yeah, I could really see him being the guy to dethrone Moose. I know everyone's. I think
my money's on Morrissey,
and I see Josh getting the title back again at some point. But I think it's going to be Morrissey that beats Moose at some point.
My money is on this triple threat.
Yeah, and that it could happen. It could happen with the newly married Matt Cardona.
I can't stress it enough that I feel like there's a wild card in store, and that they're being real, like trying to be nonchalant about the fact that they're like, oh, it's really against Moose and Matt Cardona, but oh yeah, Morrissey's also here, and it's like, yeah, I think you're underestimating that guy's gonna like come in and just clean house while the other two are distracted with each other.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt. That's definitely a possibility.
Yeah. And think about it this way, and from there, I mean, you could still continue the rivalry.
Yeah.
Between the three, because I feel like that's our top tier right now. While certain people are out on injury. Yeah. So I mean, I'm not complaining. I think these three are working really well together. Sorry.
Oh no, I agree they are. But since we brought it up, it's a little piece of news because I will bring it up. Because I like giving him credit where it's due, even though he is mid-Cardona. But Cardona was interviewed. Sorry, forget where he put this. Or you know what? I think he maybe just tweeted it out. It was him. It was him just tweeting this out.
Oh, okay.
He mentioned about like working with Impact, like pretty much being thankful for this year and all that. But he put out there that he worked AEW. Remember originally those couple dates? They never called them back. So like we never kind of really knew like kind of what that ended, but I guess like he worked a couple dates, like agreed upon dates that ended, and they just never even called him back. And obviously, he pretty much made a home on the Indies, killing it at GCW and all, and on Impact, being in the main event at Hard to Kill.
I feel like them not calling him back was a good thing overall, because look at the position he's in now with the company he's with currently. I feel like that might even be a better position than he would have ever been in AEW.
Oh yeah,
because they seem like
so
they're
easy to get lost down there.
Their title, no, and this is no knock on them. Obviously they do things a lot differently over there, and to each their own. They tend to have very focused people on their titles, and it doesn't net out very far. So it is what it is, and I think he's in the running for the main belt on Impact. So good for him. Yeah. Hard work pays off, right?
It did. It does pay off. It does pay off. Now, I do see Courtney was asking about Trey. Did he talk about getting? I know he just had a match with Chris Sabin in Michigan.
I'm sorry, I don't know.
Great match.
I don't know who said it in the chat because I can't find the comment, but someone's like, is he still chained up?
Oh,
is Trey still chained up?
Okay, you're going off of that. Okay, yes. I think he's
he's still chained up in a basement unless Scott managed to find him. And I don't know.
From what I heard, and I went out to be previously to Rhino's promotion. He had a great match with Chris Sabin. That's
of course, jeez.
So I'm thinking he's okay. And him versus Macklin, man, that could be nobody expecting it. Really good match.
I'm gonna start calling Macklin Macbeth because that's the vibes that I'm getting from him.
Macbeth, I like it.
If anyone's familiar with the Shakespearean classic, that is.
Heads up for any of the movie people out there. There's a new movie by one of the Coen brothers with Denzel
Washington as the main. That's going to be incredible, I imagine.
I can't wait to see that. I just saw the trailer when I was at the movies the other day. So
shot in that new art house style for like epic medieval novels and stuff like that. So that, or more Renaissance rather, because that would be the era. But that's going to be really cool.
No, definitely. Macbeth.
Macklin, Macbeth.
I like it. Let's hope that sticks. Hello to some people just joining us. See some more people just joining us there. Kyle, whole crew there. The Crimson Chin. I know they love the chin.
Thanks everybody for tuning in tonight.
Yeah, because this is, once again, it's not your typical review because it's not your typical show.
We're just showing.
The match was on BTI. And I think we did cover every segment now. Thanks for everyone in the chat pointing some of them out. Because obviously there was just a lot of long matches lengthwise, which is good. That's what you're trying to sell the product. And if you care about ratings, which I don't, that like the ratings went up last week with the with the best of show. So who knows? People are fickle. There's nothing to watch right now unless you're watching reruns of Die Hard like I am.
Well, I feel like I personally am not crazy about like recap kind of shows or whatever. This goes for like sitcoms and everything, but I feel like, especially like you're saying, this time of year, there's not much going on, and people do like to be reminded of they mentioned a couple of things that I was like, oh, I totally forgot that this happened this year, so it's fun.
All right, so that kind of covers most of it. So the thing is that I definitely want to put out there, since this is pretty much our last show of the year, is what are we thankful for? What are we thankful for with the new year coming? I know you do Thanksgiving, but for having this year right here, we're coming to the end of 21. We still know a crazy time in the world. Because what is it now? Both you and I, Alicia, started showing up on here, sometime, like it was pretty much all during the Great Panini is when we started showing up.
I think we both in April, end of April, May, I believe, is when our first shows were. And that'll be 2 years, going on 2 years this coming year.
It's been a while. So I know a lot of you have been here the whole time. Thank you to everyone here. You're all a big part of that. There's people that are Patreon, people that give the super stickers or the tips and the bits and all that. Thank you very much. Everybody that does the socials, part of the Discord. I know a lot of people very loyal on the Discord. Thanks to all of you. Thanks to obviously Impact. Without them, we wouldn't be talking about all this. That's one promotion is pretty much all we talk about. So thank you to Impact, and obviously all the people that jump in here in the chat, the Kevins, the Penzers, the Daniel Spencers, Ingrid, obviously all the people that we have, Johnny Bravo, Rohit, Jake Something, Willie Mack, like all the Good Brothers,
Ace,
so
Gia, everybody,
Ace, Gia, John Burden,
Sammy.
Sammy Callahan was on the show. There's a long list. Obviously, I'll forget them, but they're all like we appreciate.
Oh, and let's not forget we got rated by Lita this year.
And Lita, thank you. Yeah, and also Jerry Lynn and Mikey Whipwreck's podcast, Front Row Material. They rated us a couple times. Thanks to
Moose
them.
has been in the chat.
Because there's one community I know a lot of the people like Akeem that does the articles, but they're also doing it. Courtney, obviously, all the people like the trucks, D-backs, like that were there from like kind of day one. As we finish off this year, thanks everybody for doing this, and obviously people that aren't here right now like J-Bone, Trent, the Scumbag, Mark, and obviously Truck does a lot there too. So thanks everybody. Great year. We'll see what happens in 22. Hopefully we can continue to build on some of this, maybe add some more things. Critical thing we did start plummeting this year. We're always plummeting.
Oh, the Plummet Club.
But that and this was obviously a big transition year because Impact went to the YouTube instead of the Twitch co-stream, which I know some of you may have found us on there. Because that's like, at least in my mind, that's where a lot of people started showing up because we were co-streaming the show, and there was probably a loyal group of like 40 plus that were just coming for the co-stream. They never saw the review show. And that's fine.
Yeah.
But then once they switched that up, we lost some of those. So if you stayed around, we thank you. Can't forget Mike Elgin. He did. But that was early. That was before this year. That was last year. But anybody that's ever come on, we thank. But yeah, we'll see what happens next year. We're always trying to figure out, because that was a big difference with the co-stream. So the Patreon came around and stuff, but keep trying to do some more stuff. And who knows, because the YouTube, we kind of started talking about YouTube to start the show. The Insider has had some kinks in it. And it seems like it's more and more on YouTube's end because they're not used to doing these premieres where, if they don't go, it's an issue. It's like you can't fix it. It's not an easy fix.
Yeah.
Before, like when we co-streamed, it was like, okay, we're going to use the Impact stream. If the Impact stream didn't work, we threw the copy on cable, and we played that.
Yeah.
And you know what? Impact was okay with that because it got it out there, and that's why, like, I feel like, it's like we could, like, I joked in the chat. I'm like, I'll fire up my feed right now. You can watch my Verizon Fios. So those are just the thing. Hopefully, like I said, if any show's going to have it happen, this was a show to do it because all these main things you can get off the social media. But next year, with the touring schedule they have planned, it's a big year for Impact.
Sure is.
I have a feeling they're going to be shelling out some bucks for some talent coming in, and then with this touring schedule, they got. So if like the YouTube's blowing up, it's not good. So definitely need to get that taken care of for next year. Got to get on the socials. Can't have like 1 week lags on Instagram.
Nope.
I can, but you're not coming to see me. Alicia's very good at the Instagram. And I talked about this on the last show. If I'm not going to post almost daily, I shouldn't post. I only should start posting when I'm going to post all the time. I believe it when I see.
I go through phases now.
Well, that's the thing. Like, because I feel like I can at least get stuff up on Twitter fairly regularly. The whole picture thing, that's just But I talked about it. I got to find out like who's on a show that night and find an old picture and throw that up. That's going to be my thing.
Right. There you go.
But that's about it. So once again, anybody that didn't catch this, why? Because you may not even know when we were doing the show because we've been doing these news updates instead. Feel free to leave some comments in the old description if you're watching on the Twitch. Can't do that, but you can do it on the YouTube. Leave it on the social medias, which is @WeTalkImpact. Obviously, on the Twitch, if you're not already following it, Total Nonstop Impact there. And then, obviously, listen to us, all the audio people. Love the audio people. That's still our biggest contingent, obviously, is the audio, which is all over the world, which is fantastic. I know that always gets Jay and everybody like, wow, somebody in like this country is listening to little old TNI for some reason, and we appreciate when you do. Hey, anybody in the chat, feel free to end the show. Any resolutions, and they can be wrestling related or not. Any resolutions? Are you a resolution person there, Alicia?
Nah.
No resolution.
Maybe I'll try and go to a local wrestling show this year. I've been taking sabbatical, so maybe I'll do that.
All right. And I will be, for anyone that's watching, I wasn't going to, but I confirmed it earlier in the week. I'm doing GCW tomorrow for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So I'll be in Atlantic City. Anybody checking out those, some live wrestling New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, I will be there. Just taking a look here to see anything else. All right, we're about at an hour. All right, there goes Ashley. Do more interviews. And you know what? That's the same thing here. We want to do more interviews. I know because of when we go live, it's not convenient. So it might be more canned or going live at other times just for an interview, and maybe then playing it during a review, like this, maybe tacking it on at some point.
Yeah,
so you might see something like that into next year.
I feel like that's flexible. A good route to go.
Yeah, no, I agree. Oh, there you go. Thanks to you. Sue posted a link to Amazon to help with the baby. Well, which could be a demon spawn or an okay baby.
An okay baby. Either way, yeah, go check that out. It's probably a baby shower registry. So go if you can.
Yeah, definitely
support.
Definitely.
Go send Rich
big
and
fan. Big fan of Sue here. Speaking of Sue, well, my guess is the only channel on Twitch. If you do the sub, you get the emotes. Does anybody else have a Susie emote? I can't imagine. Or Monty Brown, or Johnny Bravo, or Johnny Swinger. Oh, and we did say it on the throwback. But once again, going into a new year, we know that Don West, Jeff Jarrett put out there that he's once again fighting cancer again. So best wishes to Don that he sounds like they got on top of it and definitely could get that taken care of because he is a TNA legend and a very nice guy. But once again, see him, Chris. I know it's late over there. Thank you to all of our and you know what? I didn't say it earlier. Obviously, big thanks to Bison, who's jumped on here a ton from the UK and the whole UK team, Joe, Simply Steve. Yeah, thanks to everybody, our extended family.
Go check out their page. They've got tons of interviews.
They do. I know Bison has his whole interview, Bison Talks. He has all those interviews. So definitely check that out. Yeah, and hopefully you get more of that. Let us know. Let us know at We Talk Impact here. What do you want to see from us more? Any ideas? Do you want to see this or that? Let us know. We definitely take it. We'll take the input. So, Alicia, thanks for jumping on. I know it was a Trent's doing AAW, so definitely support AAW.
Right.
Check out that show. It had Josh Alexander versus Ruby Soho.
Oh, Jesus. That's probably an amazing match.
Yeah, so definitely check that out. And support Trent with AAW. And then obviously, I think in the Discord, J-Bo was doing stuff with that, so that's why we did have J-Bo tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But no, so that pretty much, unless we're probably going to do it after dark at some point, unconfirmed when. You'll just see it pop up, Patreon people. So stay tuned for that. But if not, let's see, it's the day after. But I think we'll probably do a Sunday dinner. So I don't know who will be there. I'll be. So definitely checking it out. Obviously, we went through. Alicia, let people know where they can find you.
You can find me under the handle Alicia Bikeki on Twitter, Instagram, and lurking in the Discord.
Ooh, lurking in the Discord. I think most people know where they can find me. My name, William M. Gardner, and it's also the same on the Instagram, which I know, haven't posted in a while. But you can go back and look at those pictures of me with Heath and Eric Young from about a year and a half ago. So, but definitely check out, if you're listening to this later, find us on all the podcasts, Amazon, everywhere. Oh, and don't forget the Amazon Prime. You get a free sub. Do the Twitch with Total Nonstop Impact if you're just letting it go to waste. Waste it on us. But yeah, that's about it. So check us wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget, hit the like button, subscribe. Yes. And once again, everybody.
Leave a comment.
Yes, leave a comment. And have a happy new year. Alicia, have a happy new year.
Have a happy new year, Bill.
Happy new year.
Happy new year, everybody. Be safe and, manifest beautiful things for the upcoming year.
Yeah, that's a good segment. Good thought to end on. And we will see you, unless you're on Patreon for After Dark, in 2022. So, see you later from Total Nonstop Impact.